Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video, we wrap up this mini-series looking at some of the best moments from the Five Nights at Freddy's series. If you've missed episodes 1 and 2, then I'll link them at the end of this video. But for now, it's time to take one last trip to Fazbear Entertainment's animatronic nightmare world, as we recap 5 more iconic moments from FNAF history. Ever since the launch of the original Five Nights at Freddy's game, players have been intrigued by the cryptic and mysterious backstory. Each game added something new and substantial to the growing lore for fans to theorise over, and theorise they did. Some theories even being confirmed by creator Scott Cawthon himself. But some of the biggest revelations in series history came with the release of the 4th FNAF game. FNAF 4 told the story of a child experiencing a waking nightmare. As the lights went out, this unnamed child became trapped in their bedroom and stalked by the aptly named Nightmare animatronics. Still, some of the scariest designs in franchise history. After surviving each night, the player got to take part in an 8-bit styled minigame where we took on the role of Crying Child and experienced their day-to-day lives, witnessing how they were taunted and bullied by their older brother and his friends until one day a horrible prank went terribly wrong. After being stuffed inside the mouth of a Freddy animatronic by his brother, the little boy was killed when Freddy's mouth snapped shut. The reason this backstory is so iconic and key to the franchise is because it was the first time fans were given enough evidence to really begin connecting the dots and placing down a timeline for events. The restaurant we visit in this game appears to be the original Fazbear family diner. The animatronics using the spring-lock designs eventually decommissioned due to being so very unsafe. It is also theorised that the Crying Child is none other than William Afton's son, commonly believed to be named Evan. His older brother Michael would eventually go on to become the protagonist of several other FNAF games, while his sister Elizabeth became trapped inside Circus Baby, her soul twisted into a malicious entity in death. While William Afton of course would rapidly become increasingly unhinged, kidnapping and killing children who visited his pizzeria, their souls then becoming entwined with the animatronics he created with business partner Henry Emily. So much of the Afton's tragic backstory was revealed while playing FNAF 4, including the iconic Bite of 83 sequence. To this day, its events remain discussed and theorised over. While FNAF Security Breach was a divisive game, it's hard to knock the ambition and love poured into it by the development team Steel Wall Studios. Longtime fans had a ton of cool secrets and Easter eggs to discover while exploring the Megaplex. Some of my personal favourite moments from the entire series came from making these discoveries, sometimes in the most unlikely of places. In fact, I've made an entire video covering the plethora of unlockables one may come across while checking every nook and cranny of this sprawling game. From audio logs which explain Vanny's mysterious backstory, to recreations of iconic FNAF settings found in previous games, to environmental storytelling such as this dinner table featuring the entire Afton family, Security Breach went above and beyond to offer nostalgic nods to previous games. On top of that, it contained many original secrets of its own too, such as an entire mini-golf arcade game with multiple courses based around classic FNAF characters. Or how about this secret room only accessible by seeking out and photographing certain cutouts around the Pizzaplex? This room containing yet another arcade minigame, this time based around the character of Balloon Boy. When any new FNAF game drops, there is always a buzz around it for weeks as the community figures out all of the secrets contained within, and Security Breach did it bigger and better than ever before. FNAF Help Wanted started out as a VR-themed minigame collection for PC and PlayStation VR, before receiving a non-VR version which also appeared on Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. Eventually it was ported to mobile, and on the surface this new version seemed very similar to the ones that had come before it. However, this was not the case. Hidden within this new version of Help Wanted was a brand new minigame, a pixel art style adventure known as Princess Quest. In this hidden minigame, we step into the shoes of a lost princess who navigated a series of maze-like environments as she did battle with the forces of darkness. Enemies came in the form of glitching pixels, which resembled the shape of rabbits. This immediately drew players to connect them with the ghost in the machine Glitchtrap. Sure enough, by the end of a princess's quest, she found herself trapped in a room with Glitchtrap, who made some strange noises. When slowed down and reversed, these noises formed a famous Afton catchphrase, "I always come back." It was obvious that this minigame was a setup for the upcoming story of Security Breach, and this princess symbolised Glitchtrap cult member Vanny. An assumption that was proven correct upon Security Breach's release, as we got to play the final levels of Princess Quest and eventually led the lost princess to safety, unlocking her from this digital prison and freeing Vanny from Afton's control. Princess Quest was a nice surprise for players who had picked up Help Wanted for a second time, and worked as a fun way to bridge the gap between game releases. Secret boss encounters have been part of several FNAF games in the past. Who could forget the iconic duel with Ennard in the dark depths of Sister Location, or discovering Glitchtrap's hidden party room in Help Wanted. Security Breach took things one step further by locking what many consider to be the game's true ending behind a hidden boss fight with series villain William Afton, resurrected in a hideous new form known as Burntrap. To unlock this fight, players must choose not to leave the Mega Pizzaplex at the end of the game, and instead complete a sequence of tasks which eventually led them to an off-limits area located beneath Roxy Raceway. Once here, we take a rickety elevator ride into a sinkhole below the Pizzaplex, at which point we make a chilling discovery. The Megaplex has been built over the very pizzeria that was engulfed in flames during the epic finale of FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator. In the rubble of this old building, we encounter a horrifying entity known as the Blob, a twisted mass of animatronics from previous games which stalks us alongside the scrap versions of the glamrock animatronics we did battle with throughout the main story of Security Breach. The other element which makes this fight with Burntrap so memorable is the way in which it riffs on the classic FNAF gameplay mechanics, requiring protagonist Gregory to check monitors, seal vents and doors, and even hide inside Freddy's chest plate to evade the onslaught of killer animatronics. The Burntrap boss fight mixes classic FNAF gameplay with exciting lore developments and concludes with an explosive ending to boot. It's easily one of the coolest secrets to be found in series history. The final memorable moment on this rundown is the ending for FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator, and what a perfect way to end this miniseries. In Pizzeria Simulator, we assume the role of Michael Afton, who, desperate to put an end to the sins of his father, begins working at the latest Fazbear Entertainment pizzeria. Here he encounters the last remnants of the haunted animatronics now in their scrap forms, including Scrap Baby harbouring the ghost of his sister Elizabeth, and Scrap Trap haunted by his father William. By the end of the game, we discover the events of FNAF 6 have been set up as an elaborate trap, one constructed by William's old business partner and Fazbear co-founder Henry Emily. Henry lost a great deal to William over the years, most notably his daughter Charlotte, who became one of Afton's many child victims. In this chilling ending, Henry seals off the exits to the restaurant and starts a fire, burning the animatronics and setting free the spirits trapped within. He condemns William to the pits of hell before terminating his connection. To many, this felt like the definitive ending to the original FNAF storyline. It tied up most loose ends and gave a sense of closure to events. It remains the most iconic moment in FNAF history. Check it out.
Now we can do what we were created to do, and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name. but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
And with that, we come to the end of this mini-series looking at FNAF's greatest moments. I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic walk down memory lane and found this video both entertaining and informative. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror-related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.